Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to review the latest horror movie from Shudder. It is called From Black. Oh boy.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, From Black is a 2023 American horror film. It was directed by Thomas Marchese. I think is how you pronounce his name. Written by Joseph Flower and Thomas Marchese. Now, the film stars Anna Camp, John Isles, Jennifer LaFleur, and Travis Hammer. Now, in this film, a recovering drug addict, desperate for closure and saddled by the crushing guilt after the disappearance of her young son, is presented with a bizarre offer to learn the truth about what happened to her son if she's willing to pay a dark price for it. Oh boy, here we go. One of the more interesting premise when it comes to horror films is a character, whether it's a recovering drug addict or a semi-bad person, and they're both looking for redemption or to right a wrong. Whether it's trying to reconnect with their children or their loved ones, these stories try to make these characters sympathetic to the audience so that we start to care for them. They either coming out of jail because they did something bad, or they were a bad parent, or they were becoming drug addicts, or something of the effect. They reconnect with their loved ones, or loved ones of their children, and they decide to try to do something right. But then something weird happens, whether it's a supernatural event, post-apocalyptic with zombies or a viral infection, or they're attacked by some creatures. The characters have to find the strength necessary in order to save everyone's lives. And that's kind of what we have here with American filmmaker Tom Marchese's latest project called From Black. Now, we're introduced to recovering heroin addict Cora, who is still suffering after the disappearance of her son Noah 5 years ago. Now, while attending a support group for people who tragically lost their loved ones, Cora meets Abel, who lost his daughter tragically several years ago. Now, he offers Cora a choice to bring Noah back through a dark ritual, something that he did with his daughter. So obviously the story is, how far will Cora go down this dark path in order to be reunited with Noah and finally get rid of this guilt that she's been suffering with all this time. That's basically what the movie is about. Now, as I stated earlier, we've seen premises in the horror movies like this, where the main character who's looking for some type of redemption or trying to right some wrong and is caught up in something weird. Like I said before, I believe, as a matter of fact, the movie starts Stephen Lang, which I believe is the Don't Breathe movies, and Don't Breathe and Don't Breathe 2. As a matter of fact, Don't Breathe 2 is a prime example where he was a bad guy in the first one, but now in this one he's more of an anti-hero or a sympathetic character who's trying to right the wrong. And that's something what we have right here in this film, but that's what Don't Breathe was about. Now, as the film progresses, we find out that Cora was on a binge high with her boyfriend when Noah disappeared. Believes by doing this ritual, she will rid herself of the guilt that she's been feeling all this time. Now, I'll give Thomas Marchese credit on trying to give this film the right amount of atmosphere, as the film looks dark and dreary. There's no light or joy anywhere around. It's all sadness, and you really got to give him credit because he does a good job in how the film looks. He has the right amount of atmosphere of what this film looks like. Unfortunately, the film is also dull and lifeless, and nothing really happens. And Marchese doesn't create any type of suspense or tension or suspense that you need for a film like this. If you're going to go the supernatural route, then we have to have something creepy. We have to have some tension. We have to have some suspense, something that puts the characters in jeopardy. And unfortunately, he fails at that aspect of this film. Now, one of the problems I have with this film, also, it's a huge problem, is the sound editing, as you have to strain yourself to listen to what these characters are saying. But when the music plays, it's blaring loud. It's that the filmmakers didn't know what was going on when they edited this film. It's like, if you're going to have problems with how the movie sounds, especially when characters are talking, either you do an ADR or you try to edit it so that way we actually can hear what the characters are saying. But they're like whispering when they're talking, but then the music comes on, brr, 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 brr. It's like, come on now, let's What's going on with this? It's a terrible way to edit a film. Another problem I have is there's just real no explanation of what type of ritual it's performing here for Korra, and we never get any sense of danger for Korra as well. It's like we know that whatever he's doing is not going to be beneficial for to her, but we really don't know what type of ritual, where he got it from. There's no explanation about where he got it from. There's this little thing that he says that a woman came to him regarding the same situation when his daughter was murdered, and she came to him with the opportunity to bring him back. But it's like, but where'd you get this spell? It's got to be some explanation. It's something that will make the audience fear what's going on, because we know that when you make deals with demonic entities, there's going to be a price to pay for it, and we don't get that here. Now, at least Anna Camp from True Blood fame, she's fine as Korra. She gives the emotions that a mother like Korra should have, and it's only her performance that carries the film. I mean, we can actually see the pain and suffering that she's going through. I like how she explains how she really wants. This is the reason why she's doing this, because she feels guilty for about what happened to Noah. She feels as though it's her fault. A lot of people still blame her for a situation because she decided to get high instead of taking care of her son. And that's something that she really does a good job in carrying the film. But unfortunately, she's the only good person here in this film. I mean, there's no real chemistry between Anna and John Ells, who plays Abel, as Marchese and his writing partner, Joseph Flower, really don't provide Abel with the right amount of character development that the audience needs for the reason why he's doing this for Korra, other than the fact he feels sorry for her and he wants to give her this chance. But we don't get that sense in there. He just meets her, talks about his daughter. We know what his daughter is. And then all of a sudden, hey, I got to give you this chance to make you see your son again, and that's it. The same goes for Jennifer LaFleur, who plays Korra's cop sister Bray. She's simply there to hear Korra's story along with the audience. It's an interesting tape because the story is mostly told in flashbacks, because we get to see the beginning of the film, the aftermath of the ritual, and then when they actually take Korra to the police station, it's told in flashbacks. And I thought it was kind of an interesting way to tell the story, but unfortunately, we really don't get any sense of Jennifer Bray about how her relationship with her sister, because she's just there just to listen to Korra, and that's about it. And there is no big payoff by the time we reach the third act, as long as it takes for this ritual to do, we expect something interesting, but it's all doing lackluster. I don't even talk about the so-called entity that appears too. I won't spoil that, but you're going to say, that's it? That's what we got? Man, I mean, take a look at the entity and smile. That was a huge payoff. Now, I wasn't expecting anything like that, but come on, guys, you got to do something. We sit through almost a whole hour and a half waiting for this payoff, waiting to see what this entity is, and then when we finally get to see it, it's like, I'm rating it. It's like listening to the Price is Right song when the contestant makes the wrong guess, and you hear that boom, 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 wow. That's what you get when the entity appears. I mean, overall, despite a good performance from Ann Camp, this is another dull and lifeless horror movie with some terrible sound editing, dull performances from the other actors, and a conclusion anyone can see a mile away coming. I mean, it's just poor attempt here. Very disappointed in this horror film. So I'm going to give From Black only one of my bloody gold coins. It's only going to get one out of my bloody gold coins. It's not the worst horror film I saw this year, but it could be on my top 5 bad horror films. It's just lifeless. It's dull. There's nothing exciting. Very poor performances from the actors. The only good thing is about is Anna Camp, and that's it. Well, there you have it, horror fans. That's my video and review for today. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share, because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Like I said, From Black is now playing on Shudder. Have you seen it? What you thought about it? Please leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way, we notify anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser, Mon AG, and always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. You guys stay safe out there.